Okay, welcome to today's 5-minute millionaire money mentor tip. That's a lot of M's. Millionaire money mentor tip. Okay, we're talking today about how to win friends and influence people. One of the most popular books ever written, but I'm going to give you my version of it, okay? We're going to talk in 5 minutes how to be better at networking. And just remember this. You know the old cliche, your network is your net worth. Your income is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. That's not exactly true, but it's pretty close to true. My income has skyrocketed every time I made the right social connection. I always say, you are one connection away from doubling your income. Everybody is. Just most people don't know how to network because you're not taught it in school. Whatever you're paying for this program, it ain't enough. I promise you that. I will pay $500,000 for this program if I could give it to my 18-year-old self and if I would have paid attention, because I would have made an extra $50 million by now if I had implemented, not just listened. You gotta implement this stuff. Okay, I'm not saying you're gonna make 50 million, but I'm just saying anyway, move on. Okay, how to win friends, influence people, the Thai version, okay? So first rule that I would say is understand psychology. There's 25 psychological, we'll call them cognitive biases. I'm going to talk a lot about these when we get into more advanced marketing, but the 25 cognitive biases, I've coined a few myself that aren't on this list, but that's kind of the classic psychology list. So understand those. You got to understand them. So you got to be able to get inside the mind of people to win friends and influence people. I used to train dogs. To train dogs, you got to understand the psychology of a dog. I have 13 horses. I want to train my horses. I got to think like a horse. Just common sense. It's irrefutable. That's how you do things. You want to plant a tomato plant? You go inside the mind of a tomato. Now, a tomato has a mind. It's not like our mind, but they have a certain, it's got to get sun. It needs that. It moves towards sun. So you want to be the sun that people move towards. Now, out of these 25 cognitive biases, what is the most important? I'm just going to give you a few. Likability, okay? I'm going to talk about that. Next one, low strangeness factor, okay? And I know people say, but Ty, it's okay to be weird. Yes, but it's not okay to be strange. Weird is like Pablo Picasso or something. You're like this eccentric genius and Albert Einstein and you see the future before more people. That's okay, be weird. But strange is creepy. Or I'm going to just change that word maybe. Low creepy factor. And I can't tell you, look, the other day, I'm here in London. The guy wanted to meet me. And he just, out of the blue, showed up at the lobby and would not leave. And he's like, I must see Ty. Well, that's not a way to make people like you. That's not a way to make them think you have a low strangeness creepy factor. That makes you want to run, And so I'm going to go more advanced over time this year. Hopefully you stay in this whole program month by month. I know you're paying every month, but it's worth it. Whatever you're paying ain't enough. People pay 20 grand to go to college in America and don't come out with one practical thing. Okay? This isn't memorizing stuff. You can apply this today. You want a promotion, you want a raise, you want a business partner, you want an investor. Start with these 3 tips. Understand the 25 cognitive biases, specifically this one, specifically that one. This will get you 50% of the way to networking with amazing people. I remember I was at an event, first time I met Elon Musk was at the Grove. He was in line getting a hot dog. And I was with a girl I was dating at the time, and Zach. And I wanted to approach him, and I just kept this in mind. Be likable, have a low strangeness factor. Don't be like, oh my God, Elon Musk. I just went up to him and I was like, hey, quick question. My girlfriend, she likes stuff, talks about space and science fiction. And he was like, oh, me too. And then I was just like, my friend got the i8, the BMW i8. How do you think that compares to your Tesla? And I remember he was going in the movie and he turned and he was like, the i8, it's i8. That's what he said. I thought it was funny, but it was a normal conversation. Fast forward, I went to a movie with Dolph Lundgren, and it was a Coen brother movie. At the end, literally, we sit down with Dolph Lundgren and I, and sit next to Elon Musk. After the movie, I just walked up to him and I said, hey, we talked at the Grove. Oh no, I saw him at the HBO premiere before that. 4 times I've had conversations with him, and they're just normal. I just walked up to him. I said, "Hey, I know I read an article you like to read. Any favorite books I should be reading?" Just a likable, low creepiness thing that a friend, an acquaintance would say to an acquaintance. You would ask that to a waiter or waitress. I didn't put them up on a pedestal, get all weird. I just was like, "Hey, what's a good book I should read?" At the HBO Golden Globe after party, I got a video of it. You might have seen it where I'm just like, "What's your favorite book and why?" I love books. And he goes, he literally interrupted his girlfriend slash wife at the time. He was walking out. She was pulling him out, and he turned around and came back to me and said, "I want to tell you what my favorite book is." This is the weirdest thing. You know, it's like the most powerful entrepreneur in the world came back because I talked to him about a subject he likes. That's part of likability, books. He goes, Lord of the Rings series. And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Because it teaches you to do stuff even if you might fail." And then he said, "Good night," and walked off. And I progressed from a 1 minute conversation. That time was a 2 minute one. At the movie premiere, Dolph Lundgren was probably 4 or 5 minutes. And then at Game of Thrones season 6 premiere, I talked to him for, I saw him in the bathroom at a urinal. He walked up right next to me, walked out. I said, "Remember we talked about books?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I remember. You're the social media guy." He goes, "I got a question for you. Should I do more Snapchat for Tesla?" And we talked for 20, maybe 30 minutes. I was late to the premiere. Progression is not creepy. Don't try to get all your networking in the first time. This formula works. Okay? So I want you to leave a comment below. Who's somebody you'd really like to meet? And how can you do it in a nice, friendly, likable way, understanding psychology, and have a very low creepiness factor? What would you say to them? What's your opening line? Write that below. I keep going over 5 minutes, but I'm over delivering and under promising, right? So these extra 2 minutes are free. Talk to you soon.